What's up, Dolphin Nation? What's up, Finstock Nation? Thank you for coming back. First off, I have some breaking news. Miami Dolphins GM Chris Grier has officially been fired by the Miami Dolphins and owner Stephen Ross. I'll get into more details of his firing in a little bit, but we're also going to recap last night's game, last night's disaster against the Baltimore Ravens, where our Dolphins got blown out once again, 28-6, and I believe it contributed to Chris Grier's final nail in his coffin and his demise as general manager of the Miami Dolphins, because the Dolphins lost 28-6 last night. Chris Grier was with the organization for 26 years and was the general manager since 2019. Let's get with the recap, and then I'll read you the article and give you my final thoughts. Recap. Final score: Ravens 28, our Miami Dolphins 6. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens quarterback, returned from injury and had a big game. Went 18 of 23, passing for 204 yards and 4 touchdowns. No interceptions. Passer rating 143.2. Running back Derrick Henry ran for 119 yards on 19 carries. For the Dolphins, quarterback Tua Tagovailoa went 20 of 40 for 261 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 INT. The Dolphins went 0 for 3 in red zone opportunities. The Dolphins' current season record is 2-7. The Ravens improved to 3-5, and they are favored to win their division if staying healthy, because Lamar Jackson is back. 3 of Jackson's 4 TD passes went to tight ends, specifically to Mark Andrews, 2 of them, and to Charlie Kolar, 1. The Dolphins' offense moved into Baltimore territory several times, but failed to convert into touchdowns. Penalties and turnovers were costly. Again, key stats. Lamar Jackson, 8 of 23 for 204 yards, 4 touchdowns, no INTs. Derrick Henry, 119 yards for 19 carries. The Ravens defense collected multiple takeaways, including interceptions that swung momentum in the favor of the Baltimore Ravens. Miami failed to collect a touchdown despite having 3 red zone opportunities. The Ravens had collected 3 takeaways, 1 interception and 2 forced fumbles, which helped swing the momentum in their favor. The Dolphins defense allowed the Ravens to rush for 133.4 yards per carry. For the game, versus their average of 128.9 allowed normally. The Ravens defense allowed 250.7 yards passing to opponents per game and 128.9 rushing yards per game. All right, guys, that is the final details and the recap for the Miami Dolphins blowout loss, 28-6. Didn't look pretty. Yes, there were a couple bad penalty calls, like the tripping call on Ollie Gordon. Everybody knows that wasn't tripping, and that to me also changed the momentum. Now, let me go ahead and get to the article from earlier today, in the sense I know about the firing of Chris Grier. Dolphins Grier out as GM. McDaniel reportedly to remain coach for the rest of the season. For the Miami Dolphins, amid a dismal 2-7 start, General Manager Chris Grier is the one to go, not Coach Mike McDaniel. Grier and the Dolphins mutually agreed to part ways Friday morning, according to league sources, shortly before a team announcement was released. According to ESPN, Mike McDaniel will remain the coach of the Dolphins for at least the remainder of the season. In a statement, Stephen Ross said this: "I have made the decision, along with General Manager Chris Grier, to mutually part ways." Dolphins owner Stephen Ross said in a statement released Friday morning, I have incredible respect for Chris Grier and his family, and I want to thank him for his many contributions to the Miami Dolphins over the past 26 years. McDaniel earlier Friday said his conversations with Ross remained the same since Thursday night 26-6 loss to the Baltimore Ravens. Senior personnel executive Champ Kelly, who was brought into the team's front office this year, will take over as interim general manager. Grier is the first general manager fired this NFL season. One head coach has been fired, Ryan Callahan, formerly of the Tennessee Titans. Grier first joined the Dolphins in 2000, which incidentally is the last season the Dolphins won a playoff game. He started out as a scout, was director of college scouting from 2007 through 2015, took over as general manager beginning in 2016, with Mike Tannenbaum still with the team through 2018. Grier became the franchise top football decision maker beginning with the 2019 rebuild. The rebuild led the Dolphins to take an all-in approach when McDaniel arrived in 2022, bringing in high-priced veteran Pro Bowl talent like wide receiver Tyreek Hill, left tackle Teron Armstead, edge rusher Bradley Chubb, and cornerback Jalen Ramsey over the course of 12 months. The team made playoff appearances with Grier, working in tandem with Mike McDaniel in 2022 and 2023. But a disappointing 8-9 2024 had been compounded by a 2-7 start in 2025. As I assessed the state of the team and in my discussions with Chris, it became clear to both of us that change could not wait. Ross continued in the statement, "We must improve in 2025 and 2026 and beyond, and it needs to start right now." Champ Kelly will serve as interim general manager effective immediately and will begin our search process for our new general manager. I want to thank Champ for stepping up and his commitment to the Dolphins' success this season. There is a lot of football left to play, and we all need to fight even harder. The final straw, Thursday night's 28-6 drubbing at the hands of the Ravens at home. It was the second loss by at least 3 touchdowns in 12 days. For Miami, with a surprising 34-10 win over the Atlanta Falcons last Sunday. In between, I've always been and remain committed to building a winning team and consistently competes for championships, added Ross in his statement. I'm incredibly proud of the leadership as an organization and our continued commitment to the community. But our performance on the field and our team building process has not been good enough. There are no excuses. Fans at the Thursday night loss at Hard Rock Stadium booed heavily, with some even wearing bags over their heads and many leaving early. I want to thank the fans for their continued support and passion for this team, Ross said. You deserve a championship caliber team you can be proud of. There's much work ahead to return the Dolphins to sustained success, and the work begins now. Finishing the season strong, evaluating all the areas of our football operations, and moving forward with a clear vision for the future. The NFL trade deadline looms on Tuesday, and Kelly will now be in line to make potential moves as the Dolphins begin in a search to hire a full-time replacement for Grier. Kelly was an assistant general manager for the Las Vegas Raiders from 2022 through 2024 before joining the Dolphins this year. He was also the interim general manager for the Raiders during the 2023 season. Before joining Las Vegas, he was with the Chicago Bears through 2015 through 2021. First as Director of Pro Scouting and then as Assistant Director of Player Personnel. He got his start with the Denver Broncos, rising the ranks from scout in 2007 to assistant coordinator of pro and college scouting through 2010 through 2014, and pro scouting in 2015 and 2016. Guys, my thoughts: I've been calling for the firing of Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel for 2 seasons. I'm not surprised that Chris Grier is the first one to go, because Ross gave Mike McDaniel an extension, a 2-year extension, on top of the 2 years he already had at the end of last year. I think he's going to let the new general manager, whoever that may be, decide if he wants to keep Mike McDaniel or if he wants to fire. I don't think he's going to fire him after the season. I think that decision will be made by the general manager. Leave me your thoughts down below, and I appreciate the entire support to the Finstock family. And like always, stay positive, stay on your grind and go Dolphins.